Hello, everyone, and now welcome to Game 2. Game 2 taking place here on I want to say Metropolis. Game 2 taking place here on Metropolis, and that's when I know I'm a little bit tired, when I can't remember the names of StarCraft 2 maps. My apologies. But let's get this game underway as Grubby is spawning as the green Protoss player at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Snute spawning as the blue Zerg. Grubby opening up with what I would call a non-conventional build in Game 1 on Ohana. And Snute was just like, you know what, I'll have none of that. You're not going to play Forge Fast Expansion. You're not going to deal any damage to me. I'm just going to out-macro you and destroy you. So that's what happened there in Game 1. And Grubby, as you can see, is going for a much more traditional economic build here in Game 2. All right, let me swap the sides here. Grubby, I don't know, it just really feels like Grubby should be on the left side. Meanwhile, Snute is at the 12 o'clock position on the opposite side of the map. And we are going to see also this Overlord doing a bit of scouting and quickly deducing where Grubby is. So it looks like it will actually be a Forge Fast Expansion or a Nexus first. Both variations of a Forge Fast Expansion depending on your timings. And Snute looks to perhaps be going for a spawning pool first. I was going to say he may try to go for a hatchery first once more, but this time not doing that. And if Grubby tries to go for a Nexus first, this would be awfully greedy of him. Yes, it is going to be a Nexus first, and with that Nexus first, he's going to place down that Nexus, going to mine a little bit of minerals, and then head off over here and attempt to start building this wall. Alright, so are we going to be seeing that Forge come in right there? Wait for it. There you are. No, it's going to be a gateway. So not a Forge Fast Expansion. This is just going to be a typical gateway expand as a Probe now making a move out across the map. One thing to note, that Probe does have minerals in tow, and because of that, he will not be able to do any mineral harassment. So far, we're seeing at 15 over 24 workers here at the main base. Still no extractors, as the economic game will be getting underway here in just a second. A Forge is being placed down. There is going to be a little bit of an opening. Photon cannon could be coming in. Probe quickly takes a look around, sees that there's no creep at the 3 o'clock position, and now making its way over to the 12. Alright, Probe takes a look, spots the hatchery, knows that it was actually a spawning pool first, and knows that it's not going to be able to stick around far too long. Going to go ahead and return cargo, head back home. The Queen not going to be able to keep up here, as we are going into one photon cannon at the natural expansion. One Zealot could be placed there. You can see no Zerglings are being trained. Grubby now quickly making sure to see if there is a third base. And with that third base, this is going to be opening up into what we really expect to see Protoss versus Zerg turn into. Both of these teams are not going to be able to fight each other for quite a while, maybe until at the 10-minute mark. They'll actually have a decent-sized army to destroy their opponent. But then again, they'll also be able to defend. Taking a look here, we can see double gas already established by Grubby, and Grubby now needs to figure out what his harassment technique is going to be. Is he perhaps going to try and go for an Oracle, or is he going to try and go for some Warp Prism drop play? Both of those options fairly strong at this point, as we now see Grubby just continuing to macro up. Now, Protoss versus Zerg, 3 base versus 2. All Snute really needs to do is sit back, get enough queens, and then defend against whatever harassment Grubby tries to throw. You can currently see that there are, 2 queens on the map, and that is it. That is a bit of a concern for me for Snute, as Grubby is going into that Stargate. Now, the Stargate harassment has really evolved. Before, Phoenix harassment was perhaps the only thing that you could really do. Now you have Oracles, now you have Void Rays, and perhaps you can even try to quickly go into Tempest. Now, I wouldn't normally suggest Tempest the Tempest could perhaps sit outside of range really far and just start shelling all of these workers here, and that may work out fairly well. As you can see, one Zealot is engaging here. One Zealot and a Stalker doing a little bit of a fight. That is not a good engagement at all. The Zealot not doing all too much damage, going after a drone. Is it going to get another drone somewhere else? That Zealot does look a bit shinier and flashier, but it is not any more powerful than any other unit on the map. We can see Zerglings unable to chase down that Stalker. No metabolic boost. We are now going into Void Rays, and the Void Ray opening does catch me a bit off guard. Void Rays generally not very effective. Queens are not armored units, so Void Rays do not deal that much damage to them. Only, what, 12 damage a second? Or I believe they even have armor, so only 10 damage a second. Yeah, only 10 damage a second, as this Void Ray trying to take a very roundabout way to get to his opponent, only to find that there is going to be a Void Ray or an Overlord right there. So that Overlord will get shot down in just a moment. So one Overlord now down. Perhaps all these Void Rays are doing is going Overlord hunting. Void Ray count currently sitting at 2. There is the second Void Ray, as we're going to see another Overlord get shot down on the far side of the map. And I don't believe this is a very good good way to spend all of those resources so far. But there has been 456 resources lost. Grubby looking to just perhaps look across the map and say, you know what else can I do? He could actually try and take down these destructible rocks here and set up a bit of a ninja expansion on the island. That would completely catch most players off guard. Now, this Nexus here, and we are going to be seeing, nope, not going to, no, you need a Nexus there, but the Void Rays are not going to engage, as we now see the one Void Ray in the air trying to clean up some of these Zerglings. The Void Ray off here looking for some more units, and Grubby is going to be knocking on the front door. That is going to be a bit of a problem. Only one Immortal. The Mothership Core does not have enough energy for that Photon Overcharge, as yes, in comes all of these Roaches barreling in here on the front door. There's some force fields, and a beautiful force field there, almost preventing that pylon from getting taken down. All right, 2 additional units now making their way in. This warp gate is currently not powered, but Snute, I believe, is just pounding sand at this point. He is not going to really be able to deal that much damage, perhaps take down some of the defense, but really not exchange well. You can see that the sentries are backing off. Void Rays and Immortals still fighting off fairly well. Mothership Core, it does have enough for the Photon Overcharge. Are we going to see that? Yes, there we go. The Photon Cannon getting in on the action as well. And I gotta believe that Grubby actually comes out a bit ahead in the engagement, as there are still Void Rays engaging here. All right, so Zerglings now trying to run inside. Are they going to be able to do so? These Void Rays are not engaging. What's happening? Roaches now trying to make their way in. They're quickly going to get taken down. Zerglings up against Zealots, and Grubby comes out of that smelling like a rose, even though he did take a lot of damage. Let's take a look back here. One Immortal almost gets taken down, gets a force field behind him in order to limit the surface area, and then is able to finish it off. Now this front door will have to be rebuilt, but this is of really no concern for Grubby, as Grubby has to feel pretty good holding off that attack. 63 probes versus 85 drones. Grubby has the significantly larger army at this point, and it also more technologically advanced army with these Void Rays and eventual Colossi with extended thermal lance range. Alright, Spire has been completed. We are now getting level 1 weapons upgrade. We are now transitioning into Mutalisk, and with Mutalisk, that is a concern once more. But a second Stargate? Am I seeing this correctly? Or was a Stargate actually taken down? No, Stargate was not taken down. We are now, apparently Grubby is like, you know what, I'm going to be going into Phoenixes, because I think my opponent may be going into Mutalisk. So, a perfect read from his opponent, and there you have another Stargate, triple Stargate, and with triple Stargate, am I actually seeing this, and air weapons upgrades, this Protoss air army is going to be very, very devastating. Mutalisks now coming in from the far side. There is a good number of those Mutalisks. How many Phoenixes are already in the air? Only 2. This is not going to be enough. Photon Overcharge is going to be coming online here in just a second, and that may be huge. As you can see, the Mutalisk Photon Overcharge, are we going to see it? Yes, we should, as the Mutalisks are trying to dance around, going after these units. The Photon Overcharge is pushing, as the Phoenixes should be trying to engage, able to pick apart some of those units already. Level 1 weapons upgrade already coming in. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes are going to be getting weapons upgrades as well, as the Zerglings now trying to charge in. All right, in comes the Phoenixes again, getting in some easy damage. Colossi now coming in. Snute is actually in a little bit of a dangerous situation, as the Mutalisks are gonna just constantly take a lot of damage. These Phoenixes now trying to make their way over. You can see the Aeon Crystal Pulse. The Phoenixes are going to have a range of 7 in just a moment, and a range of 7 compared to the range of 3, almost doubling their opponent. Those Phoenixes can just fly circles around each other. Snute going, you know what? That didn't work. Now let me try to train up 24 drones. What? 24 drones? He's actually going to have over 100 harvesters on 5 bases, and he's gonna try and just win this game outright. 102 supply versus 73, 3 bases versus 5 bases. I don't know if Snute is going to be making a good decision here. Every unit that you have, or every worker that you have in terms of your increases your supply count, but it also means that you have 1 less unit that you can train for your army. And at this stage, we see 98 workers versus 73. That could be a 20 army supply difference, as we're now seeing Snute go into Swarm Host. All right, Phoenixes, do they spot the Mutalisks? Yes, they do. And are they going to chase? Yes, they will. The Mutalisks trying to catch or get away. This is not looking good at all. The Mutalisks just picking apart units. Another Mutalisk goes down. Another Mutalisk goes down. And there you have an engagement there. All the Mutalisks and all the Phoenixes just battling it up. Down goes every last Mutalisk. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side of the map, Zealots are warping in. Photon Overcharge, Colossi, Void Rays engaging, and Snute just doesn't have that follow-up. So many Phoenixes. You can have so much Graviton Beam taking down drone after drone, and Snute now with the 50 supply discrepancy in a world of hurt. Harvester count is now 80 to 67. Remember, at one point he had 103 workers killed, 18 to 11. And because of so many Phoenixes, he's been forced to build a lot of Spore Crawlers as well. All right, 3 Void Rays in the air. Level 1 weapons upgrade with level 2 on the way. We could be even getting Tempest here in just a moment. Swarm Host now being added as well. And what is going on here? Swarm Host, one of those units that a lot of players feel are rather underpowered. It's almost like GG Swarm Hosts, in that when you make them, then you automatically lose. I don't feel that to be the case, but I do believe that Snute is already behind at this point, and a lot of that has to do with just that initial attack that didn't work out all too well. All right, drones getting picked apart. Grubby still flying around. You can see there is this base off over here. Does Grubby know about it? Yes, he does. And is he going to be picking up drones and shooting them out of the sky at what I'll call the 10 o'clock position? Yes, he will. He's making his way over there. Grubby macroing while. Oh, no, he decided not to fly over there. Not quite sure why. Would have been a lot of easy free drones, as we now see, oh, another Viper. Oh, that Viper is going to get taken down. Yes, quickly taken down there. A very good trade once more, as the Corruptors now need to back, or the Phoenixes are forcing another back off. Zealots making a move. They're going to shut down this hatchery and shoot it out of the sky. Meanwhile, more Zerglings and more units getting picked up and dropped back off. We can see Tempest finally being added. Level 3 air, level 1 armor, level 2 shields. Currently with a lot of Void Rays on the field, 11 of them. And with 11 Void Rays on the field, you can deal a tremendous amount of damage with these Void Rays. Those Void Rays dealing 36 damage a second before you account for armor. And with so many trying to focus fire, they have such a high attack rate that they can take down Corruptors faster than the Corruptors can perhaps try to cast Corruption and Focus Fire as well. Let's take a look at this. The Phoenix is now still flying around here. Swarm Host getting picked up, and this is exactly what you don't want to see. Grubby picking up all of these Swarm Hosts and taking them down, and one at a time as the Locusts are now pulling back. What's going to be happening next? Corruptors are engaging against these Phoenixes, and I believe the Phoenix actually have a longer range. Yes, they do against than those Corruptors. So the Phoenixes actually counter the Corruptors if they can stay within that magical range and just outside of their attack range. So Corruptors sitting on a 2.95. They attack relatively slowly compared to the fast attack rate of those Phoenixes. And now this base once more will get taken down. We can see that is a good number of Vipers and Corruptors coming in. Let's take a look. Tempest, Phoenixes, Colossi making a move forward. Void Rays, are they going to be able to catch up with all of these units here? The Void Rays can absolutely destroy this army, and you can see Snute losing, Swarm Host after Swarm Host. Corruption now coming in. The Void Rays now coming in to engage as well, and those Void Rays can deal so much damage. The Prismatic Alignment currently on cooldown as the Phoenixes lead the way, trying to shoot down all of these Corruptors. There's some more Corruption coming in as the Void Rays now chase after again. Okay, what's going to be happening here? Void Rays are nearby. They need to back off. They do not want to engage. Tempest are nearby as well. The Colossi backing off. The Corruptors and the Void Rays, both sides are engaging. Both sides have very large banks, and it's really going to come down to who can engage better in this situation. Down goes another unit there. Queens are going to be a very, very big source of damage as the Void Rays now, Prismatic Alignment online. So much damage to be had. Queens now trying to back off. Do we have any detection here? I do not believe so. Just a couple of illusionary Colossi, and none of the illusionary Colossi have been plucked. All right, Void Ray after Void Ray coming in. Prismatic Alignment. Oh, all of those Corruptors going after those Void Rays there. That was just an illusion, as now you can see the units are backing off again. Tempest could turn around, get off some easy damage again. One Tempest does go down. Snute sitting at 194, and it looks like he may be able to take this game again. And this is absolutely huge. Tempest, Swarm Host, this is not looking good. The Void Ray army has been shut down as all of the Corruptors in the air have taken down the entire Protoss air army and many of those Colossi. High Templars now looking to warp in. We are now transitioning into Archons. A very, very smart choice there. Archons with that splash damage, very effective, but it is not an air unit. Oh, Corruptor, what is it doing? Oh, it is going to cause, cause revelation? Reveal. It's just going to reveal all of these units at all times. Grubby knows where all of those Corruptors are and can pretty much get a very good idea of what's happening. Zergling's now going to be making its way inside the base here. Zergling's now trying to take down that main base. Meanwhile, the Archons are looking to come in, and the Tempest shots quickly take it down. Are the Zealots going to be able to hold position as the Swarm Host now making their way in? Grubby now with the much smaller, or about the same size army, and we are still battling out Void Rays. More Tempest being added. Corruptors finishing off Tempest after the pluck, as the Archons have not been able to engage nearly as freely as the Tempest, still plucking units over and over. Archons should be very easily handling all of these Zerglings and those units there, as the Corruptors are simply just flying in. How much damage? Wow, I don't know if that was a smart call. A lot of Corruptors taken down there because of the Archon splash damage. And Snute now down to 149, and with a lot of his Corruptors out from the game. All right, Archons now trying to make their way over. Is it going to be enough? I do not believe so. The Swarm Hosts already in retreat. And we see this army is still just going back and forth. Protoss with a much larger gas and mineral army, but much lower in terms of supply. Is Grubby going to be able to get enough units again? Gravitic boosters. Now, I believe for observer movement speed upgrade. Meanwhile, in the corners here, another drone will get taken down. I believe, yes, drones now making their way in. The Zealot trying to finish off many of these units and will be going after drone after drone. A lot of spine crawlers coming in as well. Zealots now doing a quick run in here. What is going on? Grubby just saying, you know what? I have plenty of minerals. I'm just going to walk in a whole bunch of zealots inside a base. And how are you going to stop me? All right, it looks like one spore crawler will get taken down. No, I believe there was a transfusion there somewhere. As the units are now backing off, this is not looking good for either of these players. Actually, I gotta say, Snute looks a bit stronger. Production tab does show more Void Rays, level 2 weapons upgrade, level 3 armor, a lot of spine crawlers, and the Corruptors are 3-1 upgraded compared to the Protoss Air, which I believe is 3-2-2. And with the Void Rays, I would normally say that this is a much better situation here. No Psystorm, and oh, those High Templars need to back away. So much damage. Archons with those overshields, or with that high shield, really benefiting from the upgrades there. As we now see the attack come in, oh my gosh, the high shields on those Archons made them much beefier against those Swarm hosts than I thought, or against the Locust than I thought. And they are now chasing Void Rays, going after a couple of Vipers. They get taken down. More and more units trying to run. This is not looking good for all of these Swarm hosts here. They're trying to re-burrow themselves. High Templars, they are going to go ahead and try and merge in another Archon in the battlefield. Tempest engaging against all of these Corruptors, Void Rays, Corruptors. All the Tempests, or all the Archons are now pretty much gone, and it is Tempest versus Void Rays, but the Tempest count is simply through the roof as the Void Rays are still engaging. Down goes another couple of units there, and I believe Grubby at least has broken the line here. Is it enough to break the final line, as I believe the Swarm host is going to be able to back off. A couple of Swarm hosts not going to be able to make it out there. And this heavily defended with Spine Crawlers expansion will now get taken down. Void Rays, there's the GG. Back and forth, a great game, but Grubby takes it, evening up the series at 1 game apiece. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.